Okay, online, like, are you able to hear me? Okay, fine. So, in today's session, we are going to speak about the concept called Docker Swarm. Which one? So, first of all, I explain the concept, then later I can go. And one more thing, guys, for the next 1 week, we'll be having classes around 16. Why? Because the demos are going to happen. So, for the demos, the class will be somewhat of delayed. Okay. So, don't mind. So, for the next 10 days only, I mean, like, not 10 days, only first 5 to 6 days maximum. Okay. In online, huh? Fine. Uh, just allow me some time to breathe first of all. I'll continue the class. Huh? So guys, I think you are able to hear me. So in today's session, we are going to speak about the concept called Docker Swarm. Which one? So have anyone of you heard about Docker Swarm previously? No? None of you. Okay. So I'll tell you one thing. Just it's a logical question. What exactly I'm going to ask you is, in the last class, we seen which concept? What is Docker Compose? In general, what is Docker Compose? So creating and handling the multiple containers inside the single host. Correct or not, sir? So I'll be asking a question for all of you. Try to answer this very carefully. Fine. It is my Docker host. Inside my host, what I'll be having? Containers. Correct or not, sir? So I'll take 4 different containers. So I'll be taking different image. I mean, sorry, different color. Container number 1. Container number 2. Container number 3. Container number 4. So first one is movies container as if you know. Second one will be train. Third one will be like recharge or DTH, anything is fine. Recharge. Fourth one will be. So this is what we done. So inside the single Docker host, we created multiple containers through the help of the Docker compose file. Which file? So now, here the concept is, guys, if we try to understand here, what exactly I'm going to say is, here you put all the containers inside the single host. For example, if any container got deleted, I can rerun the Docker compose file. Again, it is going to update and again, it is going to create the container that we know. What if, for example, instead of container, if entire Docker host got deleted, entire Docker host. Okay. So then what happened? If container got deleted, you can recreate. But if entire Docker host got deleted, what will happen? Again, you need to recreate the whole containers or not, sir? First thing. And second thing, if you are maintaining the single server, that single server got deleted, unfortunately. Now, users are using the application. What happened to application? It got failed. Now, again, if I want to recreate the container, I need to spend some time or not, sir? It's gonna be disadvantage or not, sir? So that is the reason, instead of maintaining the applications on single server in real time, what we can do, we will maintain the application on multiple servers. Where do we maintain the application? On this concept is what we can call as high availability. What do we call as high availability? Means deploying the application in more than one server. Why? Because if you deploy the application on single server, something happened to that single server, entire application will be crashed off, right? So that is the reason, instead of deploying the application on a single server, we go for deploying the application multiple server. So this process is what we can call as high availability. What do we call as? Sir, high availability means maintaining more than one server. Why? Why means if one server got deleted, then other server will use the application. So to do the high availability, we have a concept called Docker Swarm. What do we have? So it's a orchestration tool for containers. What is the meaning of orchestration? Means managing. Okay. So it is used to manage the multiple containers on multiple. Last class we've seen Docker Compose. Multiple containers but on single server. But here multiple containers on multiple. So here we create a cluster. What is the definition of cluster? Group of, already we seen in the Ansible itself. Okay. So in the cluster, we can create same container on multiple. That means here I have 3 different servers. So these 3 different servers are going to be interlinked with each other. These are going to be interlinked with. So you can create same container. If you can go and see, movies container got created on server number 1 and server number 2 and even server number 3 also. Again, train server 1 2, 3. Again, recharge container, server number 1, server number 2, server number 3. That means single container you can be able to create on multiple server. Why? Because in future, if one server got deleted, you can access the application from other server like that. So here we have the manager node, and manager node will create the containers and distribute to the worker nodes. For example, in our case, it is my manager node. It can create one container on manager node and send the same container to the worker nodes. Simply is copying. Simply what it is? Copying. Next, the worker node main purpose is to maintain the, see, manager node will create the container, send it to worker node. Worker node will just maintain the container. That's it. So without Docker engine, we cannot create the cluster. That means if we want to create the cluster, what is the meaning of cluster? Group of nodes. So without Docker engine, we cannot create. And what is the port number of Docker Swarm? That means in the security group, if you don't have 2377 port number, it's not going to work for you. And finally, worker node will join in the cluster by using the, that means in a Ansible, how the main node is connected to the worker node with the help of SH keys. So here also you need to join the worker nodes with the help of the token. So in the manager node, you generate the token. The same token you are going to copy to the worker nodes. Otherwise, it is not going to join. Okay. And the manager node will give the token. So again, I'm telling you one more time all of this for you. So if I deploy the application on single server, it's gonna risk for us. Why? Because if the server got deleted, we cannot able to retrieve the application. For that purpose, we are going to create high availability. What we gonna create? What is high availability? More than one server. Why we required? If one server got deleted, we have other servers to give the application. So in Docker's form, it is nothing but an orchestration tool, which is to orchestrate the containers. So it is easy to manage the multiple containers on multiple servers. Here we can create a cluster. What is the meaning of cluster? It's a group of servers. In that cluster, we can create same container on multiple servers. Here we have the manager node and worker node. Manager node will create and distribute the container to the worker node. Worker node main purpose is to maintain the container. So without Docker engine, we can't create the cluster, and we have the port number 2377. If you don't have this port number in security group, you cannot able to join the worker nodes. So manager node will join the cluster by using token. Worker node will join the cluster by using token, and the token is going to generate by the manager node. So for the setup, first of all, here we need to create 3 servers. Already we done this one. Are you seeing these 3 different servers here? Manager. Sorry, it is not manager, it is worker. I have given wrong name. And today, like, my voice is hurting a lot. Why? Because from the past 1.5 hours, I have been speaking continuously. So worker man. Hit enter. So I have Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm is nothing but it's a manager node, and I have 2 worker nodes. First of all, connect to all of the worker nodes and manager nodes and install Docker on it. Hmm. That's what I have done, Chetali, just now. Thank you. So go for multi-execution mode and try to install Docker. So sudo -i yum install and go for systemctl. You can for any service. So currently it got started and you can check the status. So all of them are running or not, sir? That's very great to see. And you can go out of the multi-execution mode and give the command call Docker swarm init. Docker. So I'm going to tell that it is my manager node. Install the Docker swarm here. So if you give the command Docker swarm init, you are going to get the token. Are you seeing the token? Oh, wait. Docker swarm init. So now I create the 3 different servers and install Docker on all of them. So now I want to make them cluster. If I want to make them cluster, first of all, I need to generate the token. So which server will generate the token? Manager. So I have go for the Docker swarm manager. And one more thing is you can set the host name also. Let's set the host name for your even better clarity. Okay. So go for multi-execution mode. Tell me the command to set host name. Manager. Sudo -i. So you can see the host name is also there now. So it is going to be very helpful to identify the servers. So give the command now Docker. So now you'll be getting the token. Are you seeing the token now here? So what you're going to do is you need to copy the token. And what is the port number here? 23. If you don't allow this port number, it's not going to work. So as of now, give the command Docker node ls. So if I give this command, what will happen? Currently how many nodes I'm having here? Only one node. That is my manager node. Okay. If I want to join my worker node 1, paste your token. Already I copied here. After pasting, it is telling that your node joined as a swarm worker. So give the command docker node ls. Are you seeing your worker node 1 here? Similarly, paste the token on worker node number 2. Again, go and give the command docker node ls. Are you seeing 2 workers now here? So this is the way how exactly you are going to generate the token and you are going to copy. If you don't start your Docker engine or if you don't give 2377 port number, your Docker swarm will be failed. Okay, so make sure these points. Here I have given the points. So create 3 servers, install Docker and set up the host name and enable the port number 2377. And we need to give the command Docker swarm init on which node? After that, what you're going to do? Copy and paste the token to the worker nodes. Now in the manager node, if you go and give the command docker node ls, it is going to work for you. Now tell me how many nodes I have in the cluster? Total 3. One is manager and 2 of them are worker. So what I said means if you create any kind of container in the manager node, will it be replicating to worker nodes or not, sir? Let's go and create. Give the command docker run -itd name container1 -p stand for port number 81 and 80 and image. I think already we have created the image in the last session. So Ani Taluri 00 Paytm. Fine. Paytm. Let's take movies and tag will be latest. Tell me one thing. Already in the last class we created this image in our previous class server. Now the server is not there, but still we have the image on Docker Hub or not, sir? So I am going to create the container one with port number 81 for the Paytm movies image. Hit enter. Now, first of all, it is unable to find the image on Docker. So it is going to take for the Docker hub and it get the image and container will be ready now. Go and give the command docker ps -a. Is it running now? Now go and access the application from the manager node. Which node? So it is my Docker Swarm manager. What is the port number? 81. So now I try to access the application from worker node. Tell me one thing. What I said initially, if we create a container on manager node, will be going to replicate to worker nodes or not, sir? Now I copy the public IP address of worker node 1 and give the port number 81. Is it working? In worker node 1? No. I'll try with worker node 2 also in the meanwhile with same port number 81. Is it working now here? Sir, you only said that here if you create any kind of container in manager node, it is going to copy it to the worker node. See, manager node will create and distribute the container to the. Sir, here I create the container. You can see it very clearly. Are you able to see the container? But if you can go and see it to the worker nodes, give the command docker ps-a. Are you seeing container on worker number 1? And again, are you seeing any container on worker node number 2? Are you able to see it? Then whatever the concept we discussed, is it wrong or not, sir? Yes, sir, wrong. Like right or wrong? Online, you tell me, whatever the concept, we learned it right or wrong? Like, have I said right or wrong for you? The concept is right only. The concept is, sir, if the concept is right, you said that if you create a container on manager node, it need to replicate to worker 1 and worker node 2. But why it is not replicating means here, you need to understand a point. I have written it very, very clearly as a note point. What is the note point? Individual containers are not going to replicate. If we create a service, then only the containers will be replicate. Sir, if I go and create a container normally, this normal container will not replicate. But if I create a service, that service will replicate the containers. Let me show you. First of all, I'll delete the container. Give the command docker rm container 1 --- force. I can remove forcefully. Okay, you know this command. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be going here. Give the command docker create service. I mean like docker service create. I'm creating the service. Docker service create. Name of the service will be movies. -- replicas. Sir, how many containers you want? 3. Why 3 containers? Why? Because we have 3 nodes. So definitely we need to have minimum 3 containers. And -p stand for port number. What is the port number I want to give for my containers? 81. And finally, I need to give the image. So it is the image what I am using for my containers. So again, I'm explaining with the help of the Docker service, I'm creating the service. What is the name of the service? How many replicas I want? Replicas means copies of containers. And what is the port number I'm giving? 81 for the container and 80 is for the image. I'm using which image? Paytm movies, which is already on the Docker hub. If I hit enter, automatically 3 new containers will come and each server will get 1 container. Let me show you. So the moment if I give the command docker node ls, docker ps-a, how many containers you can see here? 1. And you can go to worker node number 1. Are you seeing second container here? And you can go to worker node number 2. Are you seeing third container? So now what you can do is you deploy the same container in all the servers. That means you can access the application from any of the server. Let me show it for you. So it is my server number manager. Click on refresh. Am I able to access the application from manager node? And from worker 1, am I getting the application now? And even from worker node number 2, am I getting the application? So as a user, you have the choice to use the application from any of the server. So open your mobiles, all of you. I am going to give the IP address for all of you. You can get the application from all of these IP addresses. Allow me a second. I'll copy paste. So guys, just type IP address and port number. HTTP and all is not required for you. Okay. And even online, I'm giving these 3 IP address on the chat box. From the chat box, try to access the application once. You have given all traffic, na? In all traffic, it will come. So now all of you get the same application, correct or not, sir? So this is the way how your real-time application are going to deploy. So the main thing is here, you cannot deploy the application on single server. So definitely you need to deploy the application on multiple. That is what we can call as high availability. What do we call as? Why? Because if one server got deleted, automatically you can get the application from some other server like that. So now here you can go and see there are some services commands you need to understand. If I create a service that can create the and that is going to distribute to all the nodes, we have seen practically. So, but what is the service here? It is a way of exposing and managing the multiple containers. In service, we can create the copy of containers and the containers copies are going to distribute to all the worker nodes. So if I want to get some service commands, give the command, go to manager node, give the command docker service ls. Docker. Are you seeing service here? If I want to see the containers of the service, docker service, PS, what is the name of the service? Movies. You can see here. So movies container number 1 is working on which node? And movies container number 2, worker node 2. And movies container number 3, manager. Similarly, I can give the command docker service. If I want to check the logs, give the command docker service. Am I able to check the logs or not, sir? Yes. So likewise, if I want to do some other operations like inspect, I think all of you know what is the inspect, right? What is inspect? To get the complete information of a Docker component. So here I'm inspecting the complete Docker service called movies. Okay. Sir, even if you want to scale, the command is Docker service scale is equal to 10. Currently, how many containers you are having? But if I give Docker scale 10, I mean, sir, Docker service scale movies is equal to 10, I'll be getting 10 containers of the movies. Tell me one thing, how many servers I'm having? So how many containers I'm creating? That means each server will get minimum how many containers? 3 only. So if you want me to show, give the command docker service ps movies. You can see the containers. Movies container 1 is on which server? Movies container 1 is on which server? worker 1. 2 will be on 2. 3 will be on manager. Again 4 will be on worker node 1. 5 will be on worker node 2. Container number 6 manager. 7 worker 1. 8 worker 2. 9 manager node, and again 10 will be worker node 1. So like this, the containers are going to be distributed. Again, if I want to scale down, what I can do? Docker service scale movies is equal to, let's go for 5 now. How many I'm going for? So now automatically these 10 containers are going to be become 5. So give the command docker service ps movies. Now are you able to see 5 or not, sir? See, remaining are removing. Are you seeing last 5 containers are going to remove? Here we need to follow the approach called LIFO manner. Which one? I think all of you know what is LIFO, right? So whenever if you scale down, which container got created lastly, that is going to remove firstly. Second last container will be removed secondly. Third last container will be removed thirdly. Fourth last container will be removed fourth one. Fifth last container is going to remove as fifth. Last in, that means which container got created lastly, it is going to delete when you scale down. Okay, like that. Sir, again, if I want to scale the containers, what I can do? The command is docker service scale. What is the service you want to scale? Movies. Again, if I want to go to 10, put 10. Automatically new containers will come into the picture now. Are you seeing the new containers got created just now? So like this, we can scale in and we can scale out. But there is nothing to scale. By default, per one server, one container is maximum enough. You can ask me, sir, for example, these 3 servers are having like 3 servers. For 3 servers, I am creating container number 1 on manager, container number 2 on worker, and container number 3 on worker node 2. If I create only one container in one of the server, if that container got deleted, again the application will stop work or not, sir? See, my question for all of you is, let me delete all of them. Wait. Oh, wait. See, I am creating movies container on manager node, worker 1 and worker 2. For example, in worker node 2, I delete the container. So can I able to access the application from this node? Why? That's not the answer. My question for all of you is, I'm having one container and like only one container on all of the nodes. If I delete that one container, can I able to access the application from any of the node? For example, in worker node, I remove the container. Can I able to access the application? Yes, sir. How is? Replicas means so. You are telling the answer, but you are not exposing the main point. Because replication, like what is replication here? That's what I'm asking. I'll tell you that one. But before that, let me go for what is the meaning of rollback? What is the meaning of rollback? Going back to previous version. So previously, how many containers are there? 5 containers previously. You can say how many are there previously? But currently we are having, if I give the command docker service rollout movies. I mean, sorry, rollback. It's not rollout. Wait, rollback. Automatically it will come to 5 only. Why? Because previously we are having only 5 containers. Now you can go and check. How many are there? 5. Again, if I go for docker service rollback movies, now currently we are having 5, but previously 10. Again, it will come to 10. Is it coming or not, sir? Now again, I'm having 10. Previously, how many I'm having? 5. If I roll back, what will happen? Again, it will go for 5. See, currently I'm having 10. If I do rollback, again it will go for 5 only. So the meaning of rollback is nothing but going back to the previous state. But what I'll be doing is, I'll be just scaling my containers to 3 only. How many? Why? Because I want only one container per one node. Okay. So now go and give the command docker service ps movies. You can check this one here clearly. Movies container number 1 is on worker node 1. Container number 2 is on worker node. Container number 3 is on manager node. I can go and check. I can be able to access the application from worker node to worker node 1, manager node. Correct or not, sir? What I said you, I want to delete one container from worker node 2. Give the command docker kill. What I can do? Docker kill. What is the name of the container here? Like just give the command docker ps first of all. Guys, you can use the container name or container ID. Anything is fine. So this is the container ID. I'm using ID now. Docker kill container ID and give the command docker. RM also I'm giving. What I'm giving? It got removed, right? Now tell me, can I able to access the application on worker node front 2? Why? Check on your mobile, Salafi, first of all. Do it, man, whatever I'm saying. Even I'm checking from my mobile itself. So all of you check whether I can be still able to access the application or not. Sir, how, sir? How it is possible? Because by default, if you create Docker Swarm, containers will have the self-healing property. Which property? What is the meaning of self-healing? That is the question here. Let me tell you something. Give the command docker ps-a. So after I delete the container, new container will be created. If you can go and see when the container got created, just a minute ago. If I go and give the command docker kill container ID, within the next second, only next second, you can see the new container. Are you seeing the new container got created? And even though if I try to delete this container, docker rm container ID. Sorry, docker kill. Wait. I am trying to kill the new container also. Eventually, it is going to create one more new container now. Just go and check. So creating one more new container. This is what exactly we can call as self-healing property. Which one? Self-healing means even though existing container, if I try to delete, automatically it will recreate itself. So this is what we can call as self-healing property. Which one? Self-healing means containers are able to recreate itself with the help of the concept called Docker. So is it clear now? So here I have written this point very, very clearly. What I have written? So when we scale down, last in password, it was very fine. Note, if we delete a container, it will recreate automatically itself. So this is what we can call as self-healing. Fine. So finally, sir, if I want to remove the service, I can give the command called docker service rm. So this is the command to remove the service. So, but you need to do it on manager node only. Docker service rm movies. Again, if I want to create, so first of all, go and check the service is there or not. Do you have service? No. So again, if I want to recreate the service, tell me the command to recreate the service. Docker service create. Name will be, guys, name can be anything. Hyphen replicas. 3 -p publish port number 8180, and I need to give the image here. It is the image. So now you can check, these are going to create here. Docker service movies, like Docker service PS. Name of the service will be. Are you seeing 3 containers now? So this is the complete information of the concept called Docker service. Is it clear for all of you now? Fine. Suppose manager node will be deleted. So then automatically we have a concept called auto scaling group that is going to recreate Anil, but that is a manual work in the Docker form. But we're gonna automate in the Kubernetes concept. Sir, if I remove the container from manager node, still it will recreate. You want me to show? First of all, let me get the ID. It is the ID. Docker container ID. Just go, sorry, PS-. Are you seeing a new container got recreated? So is it clear for you now? What's the question? Sai Krishna, is it clear for you now? Fine. So now this is the concept of the Docker Swarm service. So now before I go and explain the next concept, first of all, is the Docker Swarm clear for all of you? Everyone? Online from you, is it clear for all of you? Great. So now I'm gonna tell you some cluster activities. These are very small activities, but very good to learn. For example, currently how many nodes you are having? If I want to get any node information, I can use a command called docker node inspect node ID. Are you getting complete information of node here? You can see something called as TLS. This is called as transfer layer security. Why we can use this means, if one server want to communicate with other server in a safely, in a secure way, we can use TLS layers. What do we use here? So you need to know something about the TLS layers. So this is going to communicate from one server to another server in a safe and secureable manner. Okay. Sir, for example, if I want to remove one worker node, how I can do? Go to the worker node to give the command docker node leave. I mean like Docker swarm leave. The moment if I give this command, automatically you can see node left the swarm. Okay. So after 10 seconds, just go and verify here. Currently it is active, but wait for 5 to 10 seconds. Still it is active, but currently it is now. Now if you try to go and verify, this will not work for you. Is it working? No, if you want to separate any kind of node from your cluster, you can go to the node and give the command docker swarm leave. Now automatically node will left the swarm. In real time, why we do this, sometimes for the servers, we need to apply patches. What we need to apply? So if you want to apply patches for your cluster, first of all, you need to remove it from the cluster. You need to apply the patch and again you need to rejoin. For example, now currently I removed the worker node 2 from the cluster. So I applied some patches. Now again, if I want to rejoin this to my cluster, already you have the token, right? Give the command up arrow. So already you have the token, you can copy the same token. If you use up arrow, this token will come. Hit enter. Automatically what will happen? Again, the node will be joining as worker node. Are you seeing the worker node 2 came now ready? Now it will come with new ID. It will come with, if you want to remove this old ID, you can remove the old ID. The command is docker node rm and give the ID. So now that is going to be removed. Have you seen now? So for the patches updating things, we can remove the server from the cluster. We can update the patch and again we can rejoin. No, sir. Permanently, I want to remove one worker node. Permanently. Again, same process. Go and give the command docker swarm, leave. Now automatically node will leave the swarm. And again, status will come to which state? Down. Currently still is ready, but we need to wait for how many seconds? 5 to 10 seconds. Is it done now? So give the command docker node, rm, and give the node. So now you can see only one worker node. Are you seeing only one worker node now? Sir, even if I want to remove this worker node also, can I give docker node rm and give the ID? It won't accept. Why? Because currently the node is on which state? So this node is not on down status. We cannot remove. So that means if you want to remove any of the worker node, first of all, you need to down it. How you can down? Go to the worker node, give the command docker swarm, leave. Then only you can be able to do it. Sir, again, if I want to join this worker node, I need to use the token. Are you seeing the token now? Again, you can see how many worker nodes here? 3. Sir, what if I forgot the token? Basically, you can't forget the token. Why? Because if you give the command call history, in the history, you can get the token or not, sir. There is no possibility to forget the token. Eventually, if you forget the token, then what I can do? There is a command call docker swarm join token manager. This will generate the new token for you. So you can copy the token and you can paste it even. Okay. If you forgot this one, but in real time, once you once you copy the token, you will not remove it. The token will stay inside the cluster only. Or you can save it in any of the Ansible vault. Why? Because for your future usage. So these are the cluster admin activities, what you are going to do on the real-time activities. Is it clear for all of you now? So we've seen how to remove the worker node, how to down the worker node, how to inspect, and how to generate the token. Here I said we cannot delete the node which is on ready state. If you want to join the node to the cluster again, we need to copy paste the token on the. So even small points also I'm mentioning on the class nodes for you. So you need not to worry about anything. That's it. Fine. So next concept will be Docker networking. So what is a network means? See, what is the purpose of network? If you don't have proper network, can containers able to communicate? See, you want to call me. First of all, you want to call me. What you need to have? Mobile number, right? Second thing is network. If you don't have both of them, can we able to call me? So here also in Docker, networking is going to play very major role to communication for the containers. So coming to this network part, here networking can be done in multiple things. Okay, let me show you with a practical diagram. So I'll be having 2 different Docker hosts. How many Docker hosts? 2 different. If I explain on diagrammatical way, it's going to be very easy for you to understand. So it is my Docker host 1, it is my Docker host 2. For example, I'm having 2 different containers. Basically, I have drawn here only one. I'll be having 2 different containers. Okay. I'm having 2 different containers on single host. So when it comes to the single host, if these containers want to communicate, I can use a network called bridge network. Which network? By default, whatever the network you are going to use in Docker is going to be bridge network only. Bridge network is used to establish communication between 2 containers which is running on same host. Here my 2 containers are running on same host or not, sir? But what if my container number 1 is working on server number one, and container number two is working on server number two. Now, if these want to communicate, I need to use something called as overlay network. Which one? Overlay. So these are the two things you need to understand for the networking majorly. So bridge network will able to communicate with the containers which is running on the same host. Overlay network will use it for communication of containers which is running on different. You can see it. So bridge, same host. Overlay. Host network means here containers can use my IP address of EC2 instance and complete network of my EC2 instance. The name itself is indicating host network. That means completely our containers can use the same host networking properties. Last one will be non-networking. Which one? Non-network is nothing but if you don't want to expose the application, you create the container, but you don't want to expose the container. In that case, you can use a non-network. Which network? So again, bridge, host, overlay, sorry, bridge network, overlay network, host network, none. Bridge network is nothing but containers running on same host. Overlay, different host. Host network means your containers can use the EC2 networking. And non-network means if you don't want to expose the application, you can use none. So here that is the content I have given for all of you. So if we quickly jump into the practical part, give the command docker node ls. I have three different nodes. If I want to list the network, give the command docker network ls. So first network name will be, name of the network will be bridge. Driver means it is applied to single host or multiple host. If it is bridge, it can be applicable to only local. Are you seeing local here? That means it can be able to work with only local server, this kind of network. Second one will be Docker GW bridge. Again, driver will be bridge. Driver means type of the network. What kind of network here? What kind of network? Bridge network. Again, it is applicable for only local containers. Okay. Third one will be host network. Type will be the host and it can be applicable to the local. Fourth one will be the ingress, the name of the network. And the type of the network will be, so it can be applicable to the Docker form. Last one will be the none. So this is nothing but this is not going to apply to any kind of container. And this is also work for the local machine itself. So now in real time, you need to understand this is the name of the network. It is the type. And it is a scope. Scope means applicable locally or to different servers. Here tell me, ingress is the name of the network. Driver overlay, that means it can be able to communicate with servers, different servers or not, sir? Why? Because scope you can see as form. So now how to create the custom network? Means there is a command called docker network. Create. Name of the network will be Raham. Are you seeing the Raham network now? So driver means type. What is the type of the network? So it can be applicable to which containers? Correct. So now create two different containers. First of all, let me take the image name. Okay. So guys, by default, if you create any kind of container, that will come with default network. Wait, port 81 is already removed. Wait. Docker service. Let me remove the service. RM movies. So remember guys, by default, container already used. Okay, service is not yet removed. Wait for some time. So currently you have the container number 1 working here. Are you seeing container number 1 here? Similarly, I'll be going to create the container number 2 with the port number 80. Guys, remember, whenever if you create any container, this will come with the default bridge network. Which network? Let me show you. Give the command docker inspect. I'm inspecting container 1 and container 2 and grep -i network. That means I am searching for the. So both the container 1 and container 2 is working with which kind of network here? Default. Default means it's only bridge network. Which network? If you want me to show, you can go and check like this also. I'll check for container 1 in the networking part. What is the network here you are using? By default. But what is our requirement? I want to change the network of bridge to Raham network. So I want to give it. How you can give me? There is a command called docker network connect. I am connecting Raham network to the container 1. Is it done now? If you want me to show, give the command docker network inspect container 1. Sorry, what is the name of the network here? Raham. Now you can see in the network call Raham, is container 1 running or not, sir? Here you can say wait. Where is the container 1? Command is correct. Docker network connect, network name and container ID or name correct only. Docker network inspect. Wait, let me attach the container number 2 also. Docker network connect Raham network to the container number 2. Yeah, basically here you can see the name of the containers, but in the recent version it is not showing the names. Are you seeing the subnet gateway and internet gateway? Just to go and check previously how many subnet gateway and internet normal gateway you can see? One only, right? But here you can see it is for container number 1, it is for container number 2. See, are you seeing container 2 got connected? But here the craziest thing is here container 1 name is not displaying. That's what I'm checking here. Name got Raham. Okay, fine. See, name of the container become Raham here, but don't worry, I'll remove both of the containers and I'll recreate them. Why? Because I want to show you clarity. Docker kill container 1 and container 2 -- force. Think I can forcefully kill one container at a time. Wait. Basically, I need to use RM command, but I have used that one. Fine. Now use docker RM. I'm just removing these 2 containers. Okay, I'll just recreate them. The command is docker run -itd. First of all, I'll create container number 1 with port number. Similarly, I'll be creating container number 2. Yeah, I'll give. Previously, the container name got wrongly given. Okay, that is the reason it is not showing the container name. Now give the command docker network inspect Raham. Currently, none of the containers got added. What I'll be doing is there is a command called docker network attach. Docker network connect. I am connecting the Raham network to the container number 1. Now you can see container number 1 will add here. It's very crazy. Like container 1 is not adding, but container 2 is adding. See here. Where it is added? Okay. Sorry. Here it is a name. Okay, fine. So now I'm adding both the container number 2 also. You can see both container number 1 and container number 2 is added. So now these are both in the same network. Now I'll be going to check whether these 2 containers are going to communicate or not. For that purpose, give the command docker exec. What is this command used for? To execute the command in interactive mode. I am going for container 2 and I am going for bin bash. That means I am logging to the container for the bash shell. Sir, I want to check the container number 1 can able to communicate with container number 2 or not. So I log into container number 2 and I'll copy the IP address of container number 1 and I use the command called ping command. Which command? Ping is to check the response. But by default in Ubuntu, ping command will not work. So we are going to download it separately. Give the command apt update and then run apt install iputils ping. So here I have given the command, need not to worry. Are you seeing the command here? apt install iputils ping -y. That is the command to download the ping command. But in Amazon Linux, that command will work directly, sir. But it is Ubuntu, na? So we need to download it separately. Now go ahead and check here. Is it responding or not, sir? I am on container number 2. Am I able to get response from container number 1 or not? Just give Control C and exit from here. Sir, same thing I want to check from my container number 1. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be logging to the container number 1 and I'll be checking container 2 is responding or not. For that purpose, copy the IP address of container number 2. Docker exec -it. I am logging to container number 1 to bin bash. That means I am logging to bash shell. First of all, apt update. And next you need to give the command apt install iputils ping -y. That is a package name. So once you done, give the command ping and IP address. Oh wait, remove slash at the last. Is it responding or not, sir? So this is what exactly you need to check. Okay. So here you can go ahead and check. I have given a step by step how to connect the container to the network and give the command docker attach. Oh, so basically here instead of attach, you can use the command called docker exec -it and name of the container. So go here, give the command apt update, and after giving the apt update, you are going to install the IP address and then ping the container to IP address. Sir, in future, if you don't want to attach your container for that network, currently you can see my container 2 is attached for the Docker network, right? If I don't want to attach, instead of Docker network connect, you can use the command called Docker network disconnect. So now you can see container 2 will be removed. Are you seeing container 2 here anywhere? Only container number 1 is there. So this is the way how we can attach the containers for the network and how you can remove also. And coming to the overlay, by default, if you create Docker Swarm, overlay service will come automatically. So extensively, no need to create. If you create Docker Swarm, automatically it will come by itself. And if you want to remove the network, what you can do is you can use the command docker network prune. It is going to remove all the unused networks. See, tell me one thing, guys. The meaning of prune means if you have a Docker component that can be container, that can be image, whatever. If you have a Docker component and if you are not using that one, so if you use a command called docker network prune, that is going to remove. It is going to remove all the things. So let me give the command docker system prune. This command is going to remove all the stopped containers, all the networks that is not used by any container, all the dangling images and all the build cache. So these kind of things are going to remove if I use the command called docker system prune like that. So in today's class, which topic we have seen? Docker Swarm and Docker networking. In networking, how many types we discussed there? 4. Bridge, overlay, host, none. Bridge will work for, like overlay will work for. That's it. So now before I go for doubts and queries, first of all, is the class clear for all of you? Everybody. Online, can all of you confirm me how's the class for all of you today? Can you confirm me on chat box once? Clear. Fine. So now you can go for doubts and queries. What are the queries and doubts you are having on today's session? You can go. And one more thing, tell me what is the definition of containerization? Process of packing the application with its. I think all of you know how to install Jenkins, right? What we can do is we can run the script to install Jenkins. But we can install the Jenkins with the help of single Docker command, you know. Let me show you. What is the port number of Jenkins? So I am running the Docker container. What is the name of the container? What is the port number? It is a container port number. It is the image port number. Are you seeing the image? In the Docker Hub, there is a folder called, there is a user called Jenkins. In that Jenkins user, they are having the repository called Jenkins. There is an image called LTS tag. So already what are the dependency that we need to run for the Jenkins? Already the dependency is on this image. If I simply use the image, automatically Jenkins will be running. I don't install Jenkins now. Why? Because already the dependency is here. What is the meaning of Dockerization? Packing the application with its dependency. Already Jenkins is packed here. And dependency is also there. So directly I can run now. Now go ahead and check what is the port number of Jenkins. 8080, right? In the same public IP address, put 8080. Oh, sorry, wrong IP address. I need to use the Docker Swarm IP address. What is the port number here? Now you can go ahead and see Jenkins will be loading here. And if you go here, you can see something called token. So copy this token, just paste on the browser. Now automatically Jenkins will be installed. How we install with the help of the script? Same thing will be running. But here are we using the script or single Docker command? How it is working means already in that image, the packages are installed. So simply you can use the image and you can install Jenkins wherever you want. So is it a cool thing or not, sir? That's it. Okay. By default, everything is on the image only. What is your responsibility is to take the image and use it. That's it. So in tomorrow's session, I'm gonna tell you how to use MySQL database. MySQL database also we can use it, but I'll tell on tomorrow's session how to set up the database by using the Docker image. So guys, that's it for today. So if you are having any kind of queries or doubts over today's session, you can ask me now. Sorry, we create. You can change. You can change the network type as per your requirement. Yeah, see network, you can change whatever you want. So you can see same dashboard or not, sir? So that is the power of Dockerization. So now in tomorrow's session, we are going to see the project of Docker. Okay. So by coming to tomorrow's session, practice the Docker Compose and practice the Docker Swarm. So if we practice both of them, we can do the project very easily and see the pipeline. Again, we are going to write pipeline for the Dockerization. That's it. And I'm stopping all these servers. Why? Because in tomorrow's session, you are going to recreate them. Or even though if you delete, it's completely fine. We can recreate them tomorrow's session. So online, before I wrap, any questions from your end, online or offline? Okay then. So fine guys, let's meet on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Take care.